Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ritmos. This is our debut episode. It's going to be called Pilot. It's some pretty intense stuff here. So I want you to be ready. This is a spinoff of J.R. Hendrick, Texan Gentleman. And I have been waiting for this for some time. Okay? And so, ironically, characters from the J.R. Hendrick Texan Gentleman will pop up in this particular episode. So I want you to be ready for this. So technology is not going to cooperate too much today. Come on. Okay, so it begins July 1st. And there is a red 1990 Chevy Suburban pulls into the drive of Mary Jane, the Hendrick family estate in Baton Rouge. In fact, we're going to go ahead and give this suburb the name of West Ending, okay? And the gentleman comes toward her. The gentleman said, "Hi, I'm Claude Ritmo." "Betsy Hendrick," Betsy said. Your reputation precedes you." "My business base of operations is in Shreveport, but we meet prominent people for business here and in New Orleans," Claude said. Okay, so meanwhile, this beat-up Ford Econoline van shows up. And this woman comes out with a scowl on her face, you know. And his wife, Catherine, looks at him. "What the H is happening here?" And so, his name is Sydney. He rushes into the house and upstairs. And he opens the door to the master bedroom, and there is his daughter in bed with a man. "Hi, Daddy. You home early?" Okay, and so Sydney loses his temper, okay? So he orders toward the young man. You know, he thrusts him down the stairs, he's chasing him and stuff. He says, "You ain't making my daughter in my home. Get out of here. Out of here. Never want to see your face again." Okay, so we cut back to Mary Jane. And, Catherine, the wife, Sydney Ferraro, the wife, is talking to Betsy. And she says, "Hi, I'm Sydney Ferraro. We live here part of the summer. Next door from you. We have a Ford van and a little dog. if the dog gets in the yard, to shoo him off and call me. And, oh, by the way, we're having dinner tonight at 7:30, and you're invited. And Betsy's like, well, I like to, but I have to pick up my husband at the airport at 7, Betsy says. And so Catherine said, just call me when you can. Okay, so here's what's going on here. They're back at the mansion, the Ferraro mansion. Sydney and Catherine start arguing. And she says, you know, I don't like you letting this brat come over and talk like that and act like that. And Sydney's like, look, we've just been reunited for a month. And already you're threatening on me again. And she's like, well, she's been acting out, and I am fed up. And Sydney says, look, I've been there for all my other kids. I think it's about time I'm there for this one. So, meanwhile, at Mary Jane, Betsy receives a surprise visitor, and it's Richard Dulles. He says, hi, I'm Richard Dulles. I'm a lawyer for the McGraw group. I wanted to give you this little housewarming gift. These light bulbs. But I got to rush home to my wife Laura before she has any reason to think I'm cheap. I just gotta say something right there. Now here's 7 o'clock, and the Cessna Citation carrying Jim Hendrick touches down in Baton Rouge. Betsy rushes off where he goes off the ramp, and she holds him. Hello, Jim. And she says, it's been way too long. So they climb together into the back seat of the Cadillac Fleetwood owned by Richard Dulles. And Richard says, oh, so you're the guy from D.C. That Claude keeps talking about. Says she might need a favor. And Jim says, no, I ain't saying. And she says, I want you to beware of Catherine Ferraro. It's like a cartoon the doctor is in, only she's a psychiatrist that wants to put her 5 cents in. Okay, so we're back at the mansion, the Ferraro mansion again, and Catherine just will not stop arguing with Sydney. Okay. And she says, You're going to deal with her, Sid. Because I can see that she's a bad influence on the rest of the kids. And Sid's like, hell, you make it sound like everything, someone that's serious convict that needs to go see a priest. Okay, so now it's 7:30 p.m. The dinner is at the Ferraro house, and it's awkward. And Catherine says, now don't say shut up to each other unless I tell you to. And her husband shoots her an icy glare and puts down his fork. He's like, can we not, please? At the dinner table, along with the Ferraros, are Claude and Catalina, Whitmo, Jim and Betsy Hendrick, along with Ashley Kushner and his girlfriend Genevieve. And he beckons to Ashley, and they leave the dinner party, and they go to his house where they are talking. Meanwhile, Clark is talking about his organization. My General Sydney, he owns this chop shop. I stop by maybe once a month. Here in Shreveport. One in Shreveport, one in Baton Rouge. To take a month, somebody in that shop sees me, Claude says. Now, I got to ask you, Jim, what is this about this favor? Not now, Jim said. Okay, so now they're sitting by a bonfire. It's like 9 o'clock. They're having drinks at the Rittenhouse house. And so Claude says, Mr. Hendrick, I appreciate you coming down here. Now, somebody tells me that something's bothering you over there up in D.C. and you need a little business favor, Claude says. I can't go into any specifics. Betsy says we're having a party at my house on the 4th of July. You can talk to my wife then, Jim says. If it's something that can be done regarding car, old Sid has some of the best chop shops. I don't think destroying a politician's car is enough. How do you think destroying a senator's car is enough justice? Bessie says. We'll talk about it the 4th over barbecue. Well, all family. How's the family you got up on that ranch? And Jim says, well, there's my son, JR. He took off to Lubbock to see his girlfriend. Everything. There's my daughter, Christine, my nephew, Max, and my second cousin. But she's blind just like JR. Well, hell. Why couldn't you just run them all up here to spend the 4th of July on the river? Claude said. And Catalina shoots her husband this icy glare. Boy, I don't think the Ritzy boy she has to answer those questions. Catalina, I am talking to the patriarchy matrix of one of the most prominent families in the South, Claude said. He's scolding their back. And Genevieve says, there's nothing wrong with Ashley being with your stepdaughter. And Catherine's like, yeah, right, we'll see. So drives over to Ashley's house. She runs the stepdaughter out and she tells Ashley, hey, try that cap again, you're going to hear from my husband. Okay, so it's 9:30 p.m. They're back at the Ritmos. And Annie is drunk, talking to the guests of the party. How about we all go for a late night skinny dip? Annie said, better yet, how about I put on about 4 layers of clothes, then come out, peeling each layer off by rolling in the sand right here. Sounds good to me, Richard said. Okay. Now this is over the top. We're going to give Annie here the bell. Okay, because seriously, girl, you're a teenager. You're a twin teenager to your stepsister. You need to get schooled. So it's 9:45. So drunken Annie, takes the keys of her stepsister's Diane's car and accidentally rams it against their father's car. And Catherine was, okay, that's it. I had it. Now either you discipline Annie, or you will lose the kids and me. So this is how you talk to a capo? Sid said. Okay, so now we're in the Ritno house. In the master bedroom. And Catalina is angrily scolding her husband. What kind of man are you? Catalina said. To prefer the curves? Have another woman over me? I said I love you, she said, taking a whip and beating him. Now we gotta get out the whip. Unfortunately. Okay, so this is probably where the gloves come off. And Claude's like, girl, watch your tongue. Girl, watch your tongue with me. I wasn't even looking at her. And if you ask me, Sid should knock her into the next room, Claude says. Oh, really? What if it's true that she hates men? I think she hates her father. So like me, we have a common bond. She hates men. Go to sleep. You babble worse when you're drunk, Catalina. Okay, so we go back over to the Ferraro's house. And it's 11 p.m. Catherine catches Annie getting ready to walk out the door again. Where are you going, young lady? Catherine berates. Just where the hell are you going? Out, Annie said. So Catalina grabs her and says, not with me or not. So Annie picks up this lamp and she smashes it into the wall. And Sid runs down the stairs with his gun. And he's like, all right, Catherine, get out of here. This is my home. And you disrespect me. Take the kids to the car and get the hell out of here. Are you telling me something is up with this? And I think it's a sign of things to come, really, in the Ritmo house. Okay, so it's the 2nd of July, 9 a.m. Catalina is putting on a pink pantsuit with a pillbox hat when the phone rings. Catalina, it's Annie. Can you bail me out? They've arrested me for solicitation. Sure, baby. I'm on my way to get you. Reaching for her, so Catalina says, reaching for her car keys and heading up out of the door. So it's 1 p.m. to the Baton Rouge police station. Catalina has been waiting for 3.5 hours when she sees Annie walk out. All right. We take you to the beach. Girl talk. Girl power. Okay, so it's 2 p.m. and they're at the beach at Baton Rouge. So Catalina and Annie, they have a bond. And she says, let me guess, you hate your father. Don't worry, girl. I don't judge. It's okay to want to hate men, Catalina said. Mama was in a habit all the time. Daddy divorced her when I was 1.5 years. We moved around a lot, Annie said. So I can understand. That's why you hate your father. He started it. Plus, Grandma's dead. So he's the one I hate. Okay, so it's 3 p.m. and she arrives back at the Ferraro mansion, and there's her father sitting, scolding her, like, where the hell have you been? None of your business, Dad. And she says, I have waited all night. I could only get 2 cars today because I was worried about my little girl. I'm not a little baby anymore, Dad. So Sydney hauls off and slaps her. And she slaps him back and rushes upstairs. So Sydney rushes upstairs and finds her, bawling in the room. He's like, Annie, sweet Annie, hush. I'm sorry. I was a bit heavy-handed. And I did wrong. I know your mama is out of her mind. And in some institution. So I will always do what I can to be the daddy that's here for you, Sydney said. 6 p.m. Catherine drives home with tears running down her face. And she sees her husband out there on the front lawn. Sid, look, Sid, please. I'm sorry. I was being too heavy-handed. I was seeming to want to solve everybody's problems, but I can't solve myself. He opens the door to the back seat, and, well, you know, it usually happens. Okay, so now it's 6:30 p.m. In the back boardroom of Messalina's Italian Bar and Grill. The McGraw crime family, along with Jim and Betsy, meet to discuss the opening of a Texas Pizza franchise in Shreveport. And Robert Carey spoke up. Now, fellow captains, for the past month, Claude has been interested in opening up a Texas Pizza franchise in Shreveport. Bring a lot of money in from the border. Now, there's this mob financier, Upper New York, John Donato, used to know the Clintons. He can finance $140,000 for the beginning fee of the franchise. We need more than that, Ashley said. We may have to borrow $130 million from the Powers family. And Claude's like, you freaking kidding me? Old man Powers ain't going to loan us a red cent, Claude said, pounding the table in anger. Mickey Gillis, one of Claude's fellow bosses, took off his hat and spoke up. Stuck up in 1955, no doubt. Jim, couldn't we loan them the money with interest? Betsy says. I don't want to see the mama of my kids in pain. So sure, in return for another favor, which we will speak about in private Thursday. Sure. $13 million with 16% interest. That's highway robbery, Ashley shot back. Ashwood, do me a favor, Claude said, getting ready to pound the table again. When one of the most prominent and powerful families in Texas speaks, shut up. "9 p.m. When Sydney arrives at home, he finds the house quiet until he goes upstairs to the master bedroom to find Catherine. "Where's Annie?" Sydney said. "She asked me to take her to the airport." "She's taking a red eye to see her grandfather in Dallas. And then she's flying tomorrow to see friends in Salt Lake." Annie's temple marriage did not last. In February 1999, she filed for divorce. Went back to live with her grandfather in Dallas. When the divorce became final in September, on December 20th, the church canceled the sealing. The only bad thing, they had a child named George, born in 1998, and he died of a drug overdose in 2024. So now we're at the 3rd of July, and it's 9 a.m. And Claude, he arrives at the Johnson Ferraro garage, where he wants to talk to Sid. "Sydney, my record shows that you only put 2 cars in the crusher yesterday," Claude said. "I had some problems yesterday with my daughter," Sid said. "I ain't trying to hear that. You had 14 cars to put through the crusher yesterday. Now you got 21. Your daughter was busted 2 nights ago for solicitation, and you're going to pay me back what Catalina paid to get her out of jail. Look, business is business. I don't give a damn what's going on with your family right now. You take care of this now," Claude said. And then he walked around and saw a young kid staring at him. "And what are you looking at?" he said, kicking over a bottle of brine water. 1 p.m. Central. Okay, back at the Claude's mansion, Claude and Catalina are on the sofa making love. And, you know, 2 for 2. She's screaming for delight and all that stuff. Okay, so now it's 3 p.m. Central. And Betsy walks into the same restaurant from the night before and talks to the lady at the counter. I need to speak to Ashley, please, Betsy says. Name, please? The lady said. Betsy and James Ryan Hendrick, Sr. And she's like, oh, yes, of course. Mrs. Hendrick, right this way. And so, is escorted up the stairs. And Ashley says, come in, Betsy. And he's wearing a dark orange t-shirt with shorts. What can I get for you today? Let this be considered off the record until I have talked to the boss. Then you can talk to him. There's a certain senator from your area I've been to in Washington, D.C., who's giving my husband headaches. I want you to put in one of your finest high-class call girls to the senator. A sex scandal could ruin his career. How much would you pay? Maybe if you do this job and do it right, I can persuade my husband to cut the interest in half, Bessie said. Consider it says fate, Mrs. Hendrick. You'll get a call when it's done. Okay, so now it's 5 p.m. And Catalina has ordered some Colombian food for them. And they're watching the news. And obviously, this high-priced call girl from the Powers crime family has been busted. And Powers won't comment. And Catalina is on the warpath. Oh. So, that makes him unavailable to women? I hate him already, Catalina said. Here we go. With your crap again, Catalina. Hours ago, we were on the couch. You were telling me how much you would love me. And now, you're mad. I get it. Old Dean Powers is a crappy a-hole. And a crappy a-hole is he.
Baby, you can copy him for me, couldn't you?
Catalina said. Honey, we conduct business together, just not for a while, Claude says. So now, it's 7 p.m., and Ashley goes to a downtown high-rise in Baton Rouge, and he walks into the offices of Madam Jacqueline Robinson, and she's like, hey, stranger, what can I do for you on a date like this? Honey, not for me. Not yet. A powerful family in Texas wants to do this senator. And I've been thinking about this high-class call girl. Should the boss order it? What's Candy up to?
She's right up for makeup for a month. Seems like she got something.
Perfect. And I'll pay you handsomely, Ashley said, as the madam gives him a kiss. Now, we're at Mary Jane. It's the next day, it's the 4th. The McGraw crime family is partying at Mary Jane. You can hear the Ferraro dog just yapping away. And Claude Whitmore says, hey, Jim, what do you say we grab a little lunch and then you can go on my yacht and we can talk about this favor? And Jim says, sounds good. Let's wait till we get back on my wife and we can talk about this favor. Okay, so 2 p.m. after some barbecue lunch, Claude takes Jim and Betsy out on the yacht ride. Now, it's 4 p.m. Everybody's having a barbecue dinner. And at Mary Jane, with Jim and Betsy sitting by the lake, the crime family sits down for a talk. And Claude says, she's asking to do something mischievous towards the senator. Any ideas? Claude said. A high-priced call girl. A sex scandal. Maybe even an STD. Ashley said. Esmond snickered. And Catalina walks into the room with her lip.
Oh, I see how you are. You men are all the same, eh? And you, honey. And you, honey pumpkin. How dare you? But then talk about a woman like that,
Catalina said, staring down at her husband with a whip. Catalina. This Catalina, we ain't got no choice. We gotta give her the whip. honestly don't know what's up with her. Yeah, don't know what's up with Catalina, but we're going to take care of that. And Claude's like, now, Catalina, it is rude to disrupt me when I'm discussing business. Here. He hands her a pill. Take this and go outside. Put your feet in the lake and chill. It's a serious favor for one of the most powerful families in Texas. So it's now 8:30 p.m. The party's pretty much over. The Whitmos getting their yachts to go back to their home and everything. All right, I want you to get ready. The next episode, we're going to have JR involved. I want you to get ready for this. I hope that you've enjoyed listening to the Whitmos. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of the saga. This is the James Hendrick Empowerment Network saying until next time, take care and hold on to your seats. It gets a little bit more interesting from here.